Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Vietnam Stock Market Opportunities. It's an honor to have the opportunity to address such a distinguished audience. And if you want to open a legal trading account, please contact us with the email Vietnamstockmarket.entry@gmail.com, Telegram Vietnamstockmarket.entry, where the phone number is 8491-432-6556. Or you can also scan the two QR codes on the screen so that we can support you. And the other way to contact with us is please follow and subscribe the channel name, Areca Capital Channel. The owner of this YouTube channel is Areca Hồng Nguyen. She's a personal financial advisor and a Viet Capital Securities stockbroker manager. You can contact her with the email hồng.nguyen@vcc.com.vn, where the phone number is 8491-432-6556. We always welcome you to our office on the 11th floor, 109 Trung Đạo Street, Hoàng Kiếm District, Hà Nội, Vietnam. And the purpose of this video is to update to you about STB. STB was founded in 1991, IPO'd in 1996, and listed in 2006. As of year-end 2021, STB was the fourth largest among our 12 coverage banks by gross loans. In October 2015, STB merged with Southern Bank and the SBB took control of 51% of voting rights from a group of shareholders deemed to have breached ownership caps. This is the report which was collected by Viet Capital Securities about Sacombank STB on the 7th December 2022, with the current price is 20,750 Vietnam dong. Target price 29,800 Vietnam dong. Last target price 37,100 Vietnam dong. And the restructuring to boost 2023 forward earnings. We cut our target price for STB by 19.7% to 29,800 Vietnam dong per share, but maintain our buy rating. Our lower target price is mainly derived from one, a 16.6% aggregate decrease in our forecast for 2022 to 2026 forward net profits after tax, and two, an increase in our assumption for STB's cost of equity from 13% to 16.2%, and three, a decrease in our target PB multiple from 1.45 times to 1.20 times, which are partly offset by the positive impact of rolling our target price horizon forward to end 2023. We decrease our 2022 forward net profits after tax by 10.7% to 4.4 trillion Vietnam dong, more than 30.3% year-over-year, mainly due to one, a 1.8% decrease in net interest income, following a 2 basis point cut in net interest margin, and two, a 17.5% decrease in pure NLFI, following lower than expected 9 months 2022 results, which are partly offset by a 9.9% decrease in provision expenses following our downward revision for STB's NPL ratio. We maintain 2022 forwards VAMC provision expenses at 6 trillion Vietnam dong. We maintain our assumptions that one, the outstanding principal from the Đức Hòa 3 Industrial Park sale will be received in 2023, and two, the 32.5% stake in STB pledged as collateral in favor of VAMC will be sold in 2023. However, we moved our assumption for the sale of debts related to the Phong Phu Land Bank to 2023 in stake of previously 2022 due to market conditions. Downside risk to our positive view, higher than expected, NPLs slower than expected, legacy assets clearance, lower than expected additional upfront fee from that each life. We move our assumption for the sale of debts related to Fengfu to 2023. Due to market conditions, despite a 45.6% decrease in the reserve price since inception, STB is auctioning all 18 debts secured by property rights at the Fengfu Industrial Park as one parcel. The total value of the debts that have been sold to VAMC and have received VAMC's authorities to be put for sales is 16.196 trillion Vietnam dong, in which the debt principal is 5,134 trillion Vietnam dong, and accrued interest is 11,062 trillion Vietnam dong. The initial reserve price was 14.6 trillion Vietnam dong in March 2022, but it dropped to 7.9 trillion Vietnam dong as of November 2022, while the drastic discount to reserve price for this asset shows STB's determinations to resolve it. We moved our assumption for a successful transaction to 2023 to previously 2022 due to the current issues surrounding the real estate market. We forecast 2023 forward net profits after tax growth of 77.7%, the highest among the banks in our coverage. This is based on our expectations. One, for 48 BP year-of-year expansion in 2023 forward net interest margin as reversals of legacy accrued interest cease, and two, for STB to complete its restructuring plan by 2023 through the sale of legacy assets. We estimate that STB resolved 14 trillion Vietnam dong of legacy assets in H1 2022, and we assume that STB will resolve 17 trillion Vietnam dong and 13 trillion Vietnam dong of legacy assets in 2022 and 2023 respectively. STB has zero exposure to corporate bonds as of Q3 2022 and low loans exposure to real estate developers, 2.1% of gross loans as of Q2 2022. And now, let's take a look through the key fears of STB. Now we move to the valuation. We utilize two valuation methodologies to derive our target price for end 2023. One, a residential income method, and two, target PB valuation with a 50% weighting assigned for each method. In this update report, we cut our target price by 19.7% to 29,800 Vietnam dong per share, following a 16.6% aggregate decrease in our forecast for 2022 to 2026 forward net profits after tax, and two, an increase in our assumption for STB's cost of equity from 13% to 16.2%, and three, a decrease in our target PB multiple from 1.45 times to 1.20 times, which are partly offset by the positive impact of rolling our target price horizon forward to end 2023. Our lower aggregate 2022 to 2026 forward net profit after tax amount is mainly due to one, an 8% aggregate decrease in net interest income as we lower our average net interest margin assumption from 3.55% to 3.49%, as well as cut in our average credit growth assumption from 16% to 14%, to a 9.5% aggregate decrease in pure NFI, and 6.3% aggregate increase in provision expenses. Figure 9, valuation summary. History recommendations with the actual price and target price. Financial statements. And that brings me to the end of my presentation about STB. Hope this video will be useful for you. And if you want to open a legal trading account, don't be hesitate to contact us with the information on screen so that we can support you. Like and subscribe this video. Thank you for listening and see you next time.